this is actually one of our rarest of opportunities to go offline. Taito, in recent times we have always been going online, and that appears to be so boring an experience from both the sides.
He said no.
Okay.
Online is very rare.
Government calls
Okay, obviously we'll go for that. So let us begin this offline interaction with one of the most beautiful poem in your book syllabus, that is Leigh's poem ABOU Ben Adam. Whatever be the pronunciation, let us go straight and pronounce it like Abu Ben Adam. That is simple and easy. It is written by Leigh. What is told about that person? Let's go through some lines from page number 34 of your book. Leigh was an English poet. The pronunciation may be Leigh or Leigh, whatever it is. He was an English poet, writer and essayist. A firm liberal. That means he was having a very independent mindset. He was never orthodox. So this word you need to remember while reading this poem, orthodox. That means he was sticking to law or rule every time. You don't want to deviate from law or rule. But he was not like that. He claims through this poem, the poem we are reading, ABOU Ben Adam, that true worship is manifest, means exhibited or displayed through the acts of love and service that one shows one's fellow men and women. So very interesting. We being the Bengalis and basically the Indians, we remember the name of one great personality who was born on the 12th of January. That is Swami Vivekananda. In one of his Bengali presentation, he has stated the very same thing. I just make a recitation of those Bengali lines. Jibe prem kore jei jon, shei jon shebiche ishwar. So we all know that if we just make a translation to that, whatever we have just told about Leigh and the poetry we are going through, the theme is exactly the same. So what is stated here, we need to know about this specific character. Who was this ABOU Ben Adam? He was a Sufi saint, and practically according to Sufi educational materials or religious presentations or what we can say, stories and anecdotes, we know about this man's presence. He was very much in our society. He was not a god or something like that. He is just a human being, was just a human being. But he had god-like characteristics. He was so benevolent, beneficial to human being. He was so gentle. He was so balanced in his behavior pattern that he was given the status of saint during and after his death. We know about that beatification or something according to Christian ideas. We know about our own Mother Teresa. She was given the sainthood after her death. So similarly, this man, ABOU Ben Adam, he was from Middle Eastern country. He used to live there, used to discharge his duty towards humanity, and he used to believe in the same line as Swami Vivekananda used to believe in modern time. That is, worship human being and you are actually worshipping God. God is taking the right kind of a worship through his creatures or creations, that is human being. So in this specific poem, we are going to be narrated or presented with a glimpse of events of two successive nights. ABOU Ben Adam was sleeping in his bedroom. During one night time, he is just suddenly, all of a sudden, he's waking up from his dream and is suddenly looking at a person sitting inside the very room. There was a big halo around that person. That person is no human being, no material or earthly creature. He is an angel coming from God's world, that is paradise. He has arrived and he is doing certain kind of writing activity. That or those two stories of two successive nights are going to be presented, and the basic theme that you worship God, you are going to be gifted or rewarded by God because of doing so. That is what this poem is going to be telling us. So once again I go back to the introductory page and I am reading from the last 4 or 5 lines of page number 34. Or at first, okay, let me read it from the top. Set in a Middle Eastern country, as I have just explained, we have a glimpse of the life of a godly man, that is Abu ben Adam, who is visited by a divine messenger. That is the angel we are talking about. At first, Ben Adam is disappointed to learn that his name is not among those who love God. Actually, this man was writing in a specific book, and he was making a list. That is a list of those people who are esteemed to be the worshipper of God, in which his name was not listed. That disappointed him. He thought that his name should be coming inside the list, because he had always dedicated his life for the cause of God and for that specific heavenly way. He then asks his angelic visitor to at least include his name among those who loved other people. Next night, so I was telling you that we are talking about 2 successive nights, the visitor returns and shows Ben Adam the names of all people who had been blessed by God. Ben Adam is delighted when he sees that his name is heading the list. So that story is narrated. So let us begin this presentation. It's a brief one, but full of philosophical or religious or didactic values or thoughts we need to understand in order to understand the theme of this basic presentation. So Leigh Hunt's poem, ABOU ben Adam. So be careful about the pronunciation. Adam, ADHEM. In that way, rather spelling. We need to be careful about this. Then we begin. ABOU ben Adam. May his tribe increase. See, a mark of exclamation is there, and it is inside a parenthesis. It is inside a specific bracket. May his tribe increase. So it is an optative sentence, isn't it? Our poet is just expressing a desire, an option, that his tribe means the type of personality he is. He is a God man. He is a sage. He is a spirit living here on earth as a human being. Such personalities are very, very rare in our society. So I hope may his tribe just increase in big number, so that our society gets fulfilled with such characters, thereby making it a good place to live in, our society or the earth. So the poet is just opting for this option. He says, ABOU ben Adam, may his tribe increase, awoke one night. So this is the first night we are talking about. From a deep dream of peace. Very interesting. Dream. Dream is the exhibition of our subconscious mind or our expressions, ambitions, etc. We always believe that whatever we think in our day-to-day activities, that is getting translated into some sort of dream. Sometimes dreams are very horrible. You are getting shocked. You are becoming very, very troubled or afraid after going through the experience of dream. And sometimes we get through the process of perspiration while that dreaming process goes on. But this man, he is a sage man. He is a great human being. He is almost a God man. He is dreaming, but that dream seems to be in all peace. And so, what does he see? Within the moonlight in his room, some moonlight must have been falling inside his room through the window or casement, making it rich like a lily in bloom, an angel writing in a book of gold. So everything is so soothing and golden about God. His angel is also writing in a book of gold, not any earthly kind of a book or copy. So he started writing something, and that angel seems to be part of that entire spectrum, or what we can say panoramic presentation, or entire screen, which is subdued by a sense of peacefulness. Everything seems to be so soothing and peaceful around. Exceeding peace had made ABOU ben Adam bold in that sense, courageous as well as curious. So if an angel with a big halo behind him or surrounding him is doing something, and I am a common human being, will I be good enough or courageous enough to ask a question? In most occasions, out of 99 times, out of total 100, will be remaining silent, subdued, in a worshipping mode. Will not be asking too many questions. That should not be also. But here, the entire ambience, entire situation or environment seems to be instilling some sort of courage in the mind or back of the mind of this man. He is becoming curious to ask a question. And to the presence in the room, he said, here presence stands for the angel. To him, he is asking, what writest thou? Thou means you. What are you writing in that book of gold? The vision raised his head. Vision means the angel, that heavenly creature, God's representative here on earth. He seems to be raising his hand after listening to that question in a mode to make an answer, and with a loop made all sweet accord. Sweet accord means sweet harmonious loop. Sometimes suppose we are common human being, if I am very much engaged or busy with certain kind of a job in which concentration is needed, if somebody beside me is asking a question, what is going to be my reaction? I'll be irritated in most cases. I'll be reacting in a very harsh manner, giving a rough look towards that person, will be just telling few bad words even. But see, this angel, he seems to be having all harmony in his loop, answered, the names of those who love the God. Very sweet and pleasant answer comes. The names of those I am writing in this book of gold who love the God. So the real worshipper of God, I am enlisting those. So Abu bin Adam is once again becoming curious. He was hopeful that his name is going to be included because everyone here on earth talks about him. Everyone here on earth talks about his dedication as a worshipper of God, lover of God. So he makes another question, and this seems to be what we can say a bit of a selfish kind of a question. Normally, if you are good, the world will say that you are good. You should not be blowing your own trumpet, and you should not be telling about yourself. The world will make the recognition. But the man seems to be becoming a little bit selfish here. He is asking, and is mine one? Simple question. Only 4 words are there in this interrogation. He is telling, have you included my name inside it? As if he is taking it for granted that my name should be coming inside it. So this is a kind of arrogance, we can say, to some extent. Said Abu, nay, not so. Immediately the angel declines. He says, it is not so. Your name is not included. I confirm it. So after listening such a reply, what will be the reaction of a normal man like me or we people? There may be 2 types of reaction. First of all, I will be bursting into anger. I will be getting irritated. How on earth you dare to do this? I may be making this question. There may be another way to take the matter. I would be feeling benign enough, gentle enough to accept the matter. Okay, you have left my name, no matter with that. I don't feel anything like being irritated or so. See, Abu bin Adam, he was a real saint living here as a human being. He reacted in the second possible way. He was not angry. That's why he was greater than many other of his compatriot fellow citizen. He says, replied the angel. When the angel makes this reply, Abu spoke more low. He is not getting angered. He is not bursting into any kind of indecent behavior pattern. He goes lower in terms of his behavior pattern, and in a very low voice, but cheerily still. He is not depressed. The word depression just goes out of the window. He accepts the matter immediately. He accepts it as a blessing from God. He said, I pray thee then, okay, you have excluded me from that specific list, no problem with that, but I make one suggestion. What is that? Then write me as one that loves his fellow men. Okay? Make another list. Put my name in that specific list of those people who love fellow citizen, who love other human being or the neighbor in the society. Let me become a good Samaritan according to the biblical expressions. So this is how he makes his prayer. Okay. Throughout our course of study, that cry is continuing, crying of the baby, that is continuing. That is just putting some background music here. So we are going into the last few lines of this poem. I think you understood. Is it appearing clear?
Yes, sir.
The angel wrote. So the angel seems to be addressing to the suggestion made by Abu Ben Adam. He seems to be making an adjustment and incorporating that kind of a list or taking the initiative. And he just vanished. Means job for this night is over. He is going back to the God's world or paradise. The next night, the successive night events are going to be presented inside this poem. So the next night what happens? It came again. It. So see, it is a different way to name that angel. The angel came back with a great waking light. So today it seems to be more illumination around. The entire room seems to be flooded with that gentle halo and showed the name whom love of God had blessed. So today he is just presenting one more list and it is being displayed in front of Abu Ben Adam. And lo, just see, look at the list. Just make a scrutiny of that list. Ben Adam's name laid all the rest. He is topping the list. Which list? Of those people who worship or serve or be beneficial to common human beings, citizen or the people inside the neighborhood. So in that list he tops. He is heading that list. So God has prepared another list, and that is more attractive or meaningful a list for we common people. We are interested about God's desire and God's presentation or idea about how to deal with our neighbors. We need to be beneficial to all. We need to be truthful to all. So that way Abu Ben Adam tops that specific list, and he happens to be the best individual to enter into that list created by the angel of God. And once that angel creates that list, it is understood that he has taken every permission from God. So it is permitted, approved or ratified by God's way or will. That is what we are finding out inside this poem. So you just go through it.
Sir, are the incidents taking place in the dream of Abu Ben Adam?
Maybe it is taking place inside the subconscious mind, but it is being used as a parable or a lesson for all of us to follow in our day-to-day life. Okay, just go through and see if any difficulty is there.